Hey everyone, today I just wanted to do a little movie review. There's actually a few movies that I'll be doing little reviews. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but a couple of them especially had some pretty negative reviews, and I figured, hey, I'm going to do this video because I have rather different opinions about these films, and yeah, so that's what this video is for. So let's get to it. The first one I'm going to show you is not a film with negative reviews, it's just one that I watched and I wanted to talk about while I was doing this. It is Beetlejuice. Now this I have seen before. I saw it growing up as a little kid, and recently purchased this collection off eBay, and it came with Beetlejuice. It also came with those other two films there, but I haven't watched those yet. But Beetlejuice, looking at it now from somebody who's actually studying film, there's a lot more that I've noticed, and yeah, it's just a lot of the way it's shot. It's very artsy. Like there's a lot of elements in the film which aren't really supposed to, like the way they did all the special effects. Like there's a lot of stop motion in this film, and there's a lot of things in it that are purposely made to look fake because that's just the type of movie this is. It doesn't need to look real. Like you see a lot of movies and you see a lot of effects that just look so fake and they are immediately noticeable, and it just kind of ruins the film. But with this one, a lot of the fakeness, it's intentionally done so that, you know, it just ties in with the story, and it's not supposed to look real, and you just don't seem to notice that at all when you're watching the film. Like it just looks like it belongs, and that's a great thing I like about this film, is it shows that when you have a lot of effects in a film, they don't always need to look super real, as long as they are tied into the story in such a way as the fakeness of those effects works with the story. And that's what I love about this film, is just how everything just ties in brilliantly together, like from the characters to the dialogue, even to the fake special effects. It all just ties together and makes part of the story, so that nothing ruins it, basically. And effects are one thing that can ruin a film, can make a potentially good film really bad. And that's one thing I really like about this, is that everything from the dialogue all the way to the fake looking special effects, it all works to create an enjoyable story. So yeah, I really, really love that film. Next film is Shazam. Now I went into this, like, the trailer was great, I loved the trailer, and when I went into this film I was just like, ugh, did they show all the best bits in the trailer? But no, I absolutely loved this film, which is why I went out and I bought this one, because I'd already seen it, I already rented it, but I was just like, you know what, I want to own this film because it's just such a good film. And I hope they make number 2. I really, really hope this film gets a sequel. It's just, this guy here plays the character perfectly, and the kids, yeah, they were brilliant as well. Everything about this film I just loved. It had a lot of funny one-liners, a lot of great dialogue, and yeah. There's one scene in this specifically that I found so hilarious because I've been there. It's when he walks into this this servo, because apparently you can buy beer at servos in the US. And you remember this grown man here, he's a kid basically. And so he's walking in there looking like a full-grown man and going to the cashier and just saying, "Some of your finest beer, please." You know, it's just like so suspiciously. And she's obviously like, "Yep, down that way." And I laughed out loud so much of that because I've been there. It's just like going to the Bottle here, we call it Bottle-O's, and sometimes I forget my ID, and a lot of times I've actually had to convince them, hey, I'm like 29, give me some bloody alcohol. But yeah, one time I was actually made to go home because the guy didn't believe me. But yeah, I've been there, and yeah, now whenever I forget my ID, it's a case of me just like putting the alcohol in the checkout and being like, "I'd like to purchase this alcohol, please." You know, just so like nervously, because it shouldn't happen at my age. It really shouldn't, and it does get a little bit annoying. When, you know, when it first happens, it's flattering, and then after a while, it's just like, ugh, it's just annoying. But yeah, it's a I've been there moment, so I found that really funny. You know, a lot of superhero movies lately, not going to mention which ones, but they haven't It's like they were made just because of the success of the Marvel franchise, and yeah, I'm not going to get into that, but they weren't that great. But this one here, straight off the bat, I mean, this was brilliant. I loved it. No complaints about this film. Then we have Dark Phoenix. Now, this one notoriously got a bad rap, and now that I've seen it, I can understand why. This film, I didn't like it. I mean, the best scene in this film, in my opinion, was the train scene. It had a lot of action, a lot going on in that scene, a lot of visual effects, and it was just that one scene. That was the greatest bit about this film. The rest of it, I did not enjoy it. It wasn't a terrible film. Like I know some people have been saying it's a terrible film. And for people that are more into the whole X-Men franchise, then, you know, maybe there's a lot of details in this that really do make it a terrible film. But from an outsider who's not really a super big fan of that franchise, it wasn't that bad. It was it was not a good film, but it wasn't horrible. And yeah, but it's definitely not a film that I'm not going to be in a rush to watch this again. Let's just put it that way. But that train scene in particular, that was a great scene. I really enjoyed that part of it. But the rest of the film for me was, you know, I didn't really enjoy it. So yeah. Last but not least is The Mummy. Now, this one kind of disappointed me a little bit. Not for the reasons you might think. I actually really enjoyed this film. I mean, there could have been more of a storyline there. But other than that, I actually enjoyed this film, and I was a little disappointed to find out that it didn't do very well, and there probably will not be a sequel to this, which is kind of disappointing because I really liked this. I liked the darker tone. It still had the comedic elements from the previous Mummy films, but it was definitely a darker film, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it, and yeah, I'm disappointed there's not going to be a sequel. Because this film, it was pretty good. I mean, you've got Tom Cruise in it, you've got Annabelle Wallis, I think her name is. I mean, she is super hot in this film. I mean, the hottest mummy chick I've ever seen. But yeah, it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it, and to find out that there's not going to be another one, or potentially won't be another one, likely won't be another one, is probably the word to use. It was disappointing because I was just like, at the end, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen this film after all these years, but at the end, there is a part with Tom where they tried to set up the franchise, basically, but that likely won't be happening, and yeah, it is what it is. Great film, I loved it. So that's it. I'm going to leave this little review here. Hopefully you guys got some info out of this, and maybe you've seen these movies, maybe you haven't, maybe you want to see them. But yeah, I will leave this video here. Until next time, bye.